If you haven't heard, after almost 20 years, Segway is ending its line of the Segway Personal Transporter, the Segway PT. I hope electric rideable companies like the makers of the Onewheel and EUCs can learn from Segway's mistakes so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. Why did Segway fail, and what can the micromobility devices like e-scooters, Onewheel, EUC, and e-skate learn from Segway's failures? In this video, I'm going to discuss these things while sharing some footage from a group ride in Honolulu, Oahu, where 3 folks riding Segways happened to find and join our group ride. I've never been on a group ride with Segways before, but we didn't discriminate, and it was fun to have them along. Not too long ago, I did a video on the death of the boosted board, and I asked who is the next to fail. Well, apparently the answer is Segway. Why did the Segway fail? Why did they only sell 140,000 units in almost 20 years of existence? Was it public perception? Early on, the Segway was hyped as the future of urban transportation. It made the rounds on news and talk shows. It had a huge amount of buzz, but so did boosted boards. Now look at them. The buzz for Segway never translated into sales, and Segway was left to wither away as a novelty device relegated to Segway tour groups and mall cops.
Let me just nudge her out of whisper mode. Oh.
Okay, well, I see you know your way around a P-133.
I do. Oh, yeah.
Please be careful, sir.
Oh, I guess you wouldn't want me doing this, huh? Oh, yeah!
Please don't.
Oh! Missed it! Oh!
Lord, see that? That's not good.
People never fell in love with the Segway because it seemed more like a novelty item than a serious mode of transportation. It certainly didn't help the company's perception when Jim Heselden, who purchased the Segway company, died while riding a Segway that fell off a 30 to 40 foot cliff. It's one thing when a customer dies using your product. It's another thing when the person that dies while operating your product is the billionaire owner of the company. Other companies have had people die while using their products, but not the owner of the company. I'm not sure how you recover from that. Was it the design that killed the Segway PT? Was the design too advanced and too futuristic? Electric bikes, electric scooters, electric skateboards, and even one-wheels and electric unicycles have the benefit of being somewhat familiar to people, which makes public acceptance easier. Maybe the unfamiliar design and riding style at the time was too much for the public. The Segway remained and still remains a novel form of transportation. With such a different design and concept, maybe the world just wasn't ready. Was it the price that killed the Segway PT? The Segway was first released in December of 2001 for $5,000, a lot of money at the time, and a lot of money still by today's standards for a device with a top speed of about 10 miles an hour. Modern day Segways are much more sophisticated, but if you were to look for an electric mobility device today, you could get something much cooler like the Onewheel, or a lot faster like the Turbo Wheel Swift or the Turbo Wheel Lightning scooters for a lot less money.
I love it.
The hoverboards.
If you think about the modern day hoverboards that kids love to ride, they're basically hands-free descendants of the Segway. How are hoverboards so popular despite their sordid history of battery fires and rider injuries? Well, hoverboards are cheap, and they have a great marketable name in the word hoverboard, even though those toys neither hover nor are they boards. To this day, I still say that the name hoverboard is a huge misnomer for a product that is not worthy to carry that title. Regardless, hoverboards definitely benefit from a core consumer base of grade school kids that all want one for Christmas or birthdays. Hoverboards can easily be marketed and sold to kids, and that's who they target. Hoverboards, they don't want to be the future of transportation. They just want to be the future of fun for kids, and the Segway PT could never do that. While Segway never became the ubiquitous people mover of the future that creator Dean Kamen envisioned, personal electric transportation is taking shape in its own way, with e-scooters, e-bikes, EUCs, Onewheels, and e-skate, all emerging as options for fun and affordable transportation, recreation, and even sport. Even though the Segway device is dead, the patents on self-balancing tech still lives and works through other devices made by Ninebot, as well as other companies. I had the chance to sit in the company's S-Pod, an egg-shaped people-moving chair at CES earlier this year, and Ninebot Segway is looking to grow in the mobility sector even without its namesake. Just peruse the Segway website and it's clear that this Ninebot Segway has pinned its future on scooters. I see the Segway PT as a move to streamline the company's offerings. Ninebot Segway did the same thing when they ended their line of electric unicycles, including the very popular Z10 electric unicycle. The tale of Segway is a classic one that reminds me of the saying from Damon John, a successful businessman and investor who I know from watching the television show Shark Tank. Pioneers get slaughtered and settlers prosper. Pioneers represent those who take the risk and accept the danger to break new ground or to go to new places. These pioneers usually either metaphorically or physically get slaughtered. It's the settlers who follow the already established path that actually prosper, because many of the mysterious dangers and treacherous mistakes have been identified and the road before them is clear. Segway, you were a true pioneer. You've identified the dangerous pitfalls along the road to micromobility success, but your ride is now over. You've metaphorically and literally been slaughtered. When Segway PT launched, the head of Segway said it will be to the car what the car was to the horse and buggy. That clearly did not happen. But Segway, others will follow the pioneer trail that you blazed. Some will fail, but there will be settlers that will succeed in part because of you. And when they pass your tombstone along the pioneer trail that you blazed, they will remember that it was the Segway PT that spawned personal electric transportation as something new, unique, and hopefully one day mainstream. In a growing world of micromobility, who do you think will emerge as king of personal electric mobility? E-scooter, e-skate, Onewheel, EUC, or is there something I haven't mentioned yet? Let me know in the comments below what you think.
What is it?
One wheel. It's straight out of a commercial.
What is it?
Thanks for watching, keep rolling, and when you ride, remember to wear your safety gear.